Greetings, Novians. So, I haven't been able to find a really good walkthrough. Not that this will necessarily be professional in any way, but it hopefully will help some folks out that are just kind of wanting to know the process from protecting their ship with RDMS to setting up a vending machine and getting it on the market so anybody can purchase blueprints of things that they've made. So I've built a couple things here. One is a space capable Viper looking ship. Another is a pocket rocket compactable version of pretty much the same thing. And I thought I would set up a little vending system and let people purchase those. And I also have a small, and I should say very light carries about 20 tons, or 20,000 liters, 20 tons. Kind of a shuttlecraft look-alike. Anyway, a little more tweaking yet to do on that thing before she's ready to put up on the market. But I thought I would walk through this process. And there's really about 4 major steps to it. One is creating your blueprints, but you want it to have RDMS on those blueprints. And second is setting up the store front. The next is setting up permissions so that people could access that dispenser, and then applying those permissions to the dispenser. So I see it as 4 major steps. But let's get started on that. So first of all, you have your ship, you ready to put up on the market. You need to go into build mode on that, and then right click on the pilot seat. Then you're going to go down to advanced, and you're going to say activate DRM protection. And I think this is an improvement over the beta, because in the beta days you had to do a bunch of other steps, is my impression, but now that pretty much sets it so somebody else can get it, fly it, add things to it, but they can't copy any of the components. They can't download the Lua out of the control panel or out of the flight seat and stuff like that. So I did some testing, because I've purchased a beautiful ship you probably saw in the background from Toby-Wan Kenobi, and he has it well protected. And I went in and tried copying some of the voxels. Nope, can't copy them. And so I compared those protective features. Excuse me. And there wasn't anything that I could do on his that I could do on this one once it was protected, and I'd logged in with another account to do some testing. Anyway, let's continue with this. So you right click and you activate. Under the advanced, you enable the DRM. Then you create a core blueprint, which is under the same thing, right click, construct, and create core blueprint, which I have done. And then you would go into your inventory, and here's your core blueprint, and they have a little bit of a different look. Then you would right click on that, and from here you would create your blueprint, and you can choose how many you want to make. It charges you, in this instance, 1,000 quanta, and the wallet you wish to pull it from. Create, and Shazam, I'm up to 4. So these are the ones you're going to be selling. So let's set up the store for this point. You can drop out of build mode, and that part's done. You will need 2 components. One is a dispenser, and the other is a container. It can be any container, but since blueprints don't take up any space, an extra small is more than enough. And you're going to start by editing the storage box. You're going to right click on it, and you're going to say edit configuration. And actually, first you have to place the 2 down. So let me go into build mode, because these are unconfigured. So you place it down, you place down the container, then you have to link the 2 together. So number 6, bring up your linking tool or whatever number you have yours on, and link the 2 together as it's thinking. All plugs are needed. That was just a delay. So I believe, but why do things have to act funny whenever I'm out links, dispenser? We're good. They're linked. Back, drop out of build mode. Then we're going to set up, right click on it again and say edit configuration. You're going to give it a base price. So let's say it's 100,000 per blueprint. It's going to have a built-in delay You could extend this if you don't want people to sit there and spam it. You could set it to every hour they could buy another ship. Claim limits per user. By default, it is set to 1. If you want an individual user to be able to buy as many blueprints as you want, which typically I think would be okay, you could set that to 0. And if you set this to 0, they're free. So if you're setting up a gifting station or something, you can do with these, you can set up some pretty interesting configurations here. Then who would like to who would you want the beneficiary to be? Who would you want to benefit from the sales? Right now, my corp is Voxtail. I'm on the Voxtail platform, so I'm going to leave it Voxtail, but you could choose another player, another corp for it to go to. You can also assign a custom tag. And I'm going to call this Vending Machines X because this tag doesn't actually show up in the RDMS that I have found, so I'm just giving it a slightly different name than what I'm actually going to call the machines. And then this tells you to remember to edit the batch contents, and that's actually an important aspect of this. If you right click, this was the configuration, right here is the batch content. This determines what is going to be given and the quantity. So you need to drag in the item, and I didn't really want to do that. I'm going to right click and drag the item. No, I'm not. I'm going to shift, drag and click. Forgive me, shift, drag, click, so that you can choose the quantity. Set that to 1 if you're only wanting to give a single blueprint each time. You'll notice there were 4 here. There's still 4 here. It did not move 1 into here. This is a link between the two components, but it's saying batch equals 1. And you close that, and you come around here and open up your actual container and drop the blueprints in here, and you could add more later. Put thousands of them in there because you're going to make billions. That actually gets the market in place. Next, though, we need to set up the permissions to access this. Right now, I am the owner, so I can access it, and you'll see it says it's 100,000 for them. I'll get 1 blueprint, and I'll make the purchase out of my wallet or my corp wallet, and hit yes, and Shazam, you have a blueprint. But we want everybody else to be able to make these purchases. So to do that, we need to create an RDMS rule, and you can hit tab and go down to RDMS or hit F7. You need to check on the entity that's going to be managing these rules. So I'm going to go Voxtail. There is no rule for it yet. And then we're going to choose tags. You always want to start with the tags. And you can see I kind of was playing with this before. So I'm going to delete that one. Yeah. Just because we're going to create a brand new one. So we're going to hit create a tag. We're going to give it a name. We're going to call it Vending Machines. If I can type right. Vending Machines. Create the tag. Now that you have a tag in place, you can go back to creating the policies. And the reason for this is, I will show you right now why you want to do tag first, because you have your actors, your rights, and your tags, and you can't really create the tag from here. You'd have to go back out and create the tag. So we're going to call this Vending Machine Access, because that's what this policy is going to allow. And I can give it a description if I wanted to, but this actually describes it fairly well. Then we're going to go to your actors. You can pick from selected actors, but we're wanting everybody to have access, so we're just going to hit search, go all, and this will list all the people that start with A's and ALL are in their name, but this is one we're looking for is all, which is everybody. And then we're going to go to the rights. Under the rights, we need them to be able to use the machine. So I think it's use element is what we're looking for. You can give additional permissions, but for this purpose, we don't need it. So if they could use the element, you're set. Then we're going to go to here, and this is the tag we had created just a couple minutes ago, vending machines. So those are the components necessary. And we're going to say save policy. And we're almost there, folks. At this point, permissions are set, but we need this device to know that it is accessible. So we've created the policies, but we need to apply that policy now to this device. We're going to right click on here, and we're not going to do share construct. We're going to say, where is it at here? Set element rights. Under advanced, set element rights. Here, we simply need to choose a tag. It'll automatically, it already kind of sets all of this stuff up. It knows that you're trying to share this. This is the hierarchy of the tree. Again, you can go in and customize these things and play around with it. And when you're setting up machines that you have court members are going to be able to use, you're going to get good at playing with all that. I don't have any court members. So, except for my alt that is an account that's going to expire here in a week. But anyway, so we hit add an existing tag. There's our vending machines tag. We're going to select that. Vending machines. We're going to save and close, actually. And that is essentially it. At this point, this is publicly accessible. There's 4 blueprints in there. They can come in and buy this thing if they wanted to. I'm going to set up a few more stations. I'm going to eventually set up a VR station and do very similar RDMS on it to allow people to see it, as I'm sure you have used the VR stations. And hopefully, who knows, somebody may come by and buy the thing or not. Doesn't matter. Just looking for alternate modes of making income in this game, because the market bottom has fallen out with selling to bots the ore we're picking up. Anyway, thanks for listening. Hope I didn't drive you too nuts with all my rambling. Take care.